For a country the size of a little red dot on the world map, Singapore is surprisingly abundant with biodiversity. Just take a look around. Whatever their size, each species contributes to making our urban ecosystem healthy, pollinating our plants and fruit trees, regulating the food web, and some apex predators providing pest control. So it's no wonder that our native wildlife are an important part of life in this city in nature. Just ask this guy.
Hi, I'm Thaddaeus in the Wildlife Management Division in MParks. In the urban environment of Singapore, it's essentially an urban ecosystem, and it's important to understand the various components that exist in them, such as ourselves, and how they interact with other components such as the wildlife that we have amongst us. Knowing these interactions would allow us to come up with ways to manage them, as well as to promote coexistence in our city in nature.
Part of what the team does is study the impact of changes in Singapore on the local biodiversity and its habitats, and the ensuing effect on people.
In MParks, we adopt a science-based approach towards wildlife management, and as with all things, it's important to know what's there in the first place. So for us, it's crucial to know what animals are present, what species they are, where they are, and the numbers of the populations in the various parts throughout Singapore. One of the ways we do this is through population monitoring of the numbers as well as the movement of these animal species throughout Singapore. And that's where Brian comes in.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm a manager at the Wildlife Management Division at MParks. Camera traps is a non-invasive way for us to monitor wildlife without them knowing we were there. The data collected from these camera traps allow us to keep a record of each sighting so as to know exactly when and where the animal was in that area. With this information, we can plan our green urban spaces and infrastructure to facilitate coexistence and conservation. This camera trap emits an infrared beam. So when an animal walks through this beam, that's where the camera will start recording. We often place these camera traps near urban areas where animals have been sighted.
Each time an animal is recorded, the team gets a clearer picture of the ecology of our forest and urban areas. They also learn more about the behavior of wildlife in Singapore.
Through interpreting results from various research efforts, we can devise ways of managing wildlife movement patterns, population dynamics, as well as potential interactions that wildlife may have with members of the public. So for example, the presence of a particular animal species may sometimes be correlated with the presence of certain plant species that it feeds on. And knowing things like that allow us to understand why certain animals appear in places that we live and work.
With the information collected, the team heads out to share with the public about the local wildlife species they are likely to encounter. This helps minimize conflicts as the community will better understand the roles animals, like the long-tailed macaques, play in our urban ecosystem and learn how best to interact with them, which, according to Thaddaeus, can be simple.
It's as easy as respecting the animal and keeping your distance, not feeding it. And if you ever come across any wildlife that needs help, needs rescue, do not hesitate to call us at the Animal Response Center. And if you'd like to learn more, just come volunteer with us. I think one of the most fulfilling aspects of my job is watching how the attitudes which people have towards wildlife change. And it's heartening to note that, they even go as far as to make small changes to their lifestyle to encourage coexistence with the wildlife that surrounds them.